Unstoppable idiots, don't you know? Banging our heads to the rhythm of the code. We don't care about dollars or the shiny blade. We're just holding to zero. It's all every day. Round tripping positions, that's how we roll. We won't make a dollar, won't sell a thing. We're the zero holders, so that's what we say. Zero holders are after we say. Zero holders, we're the kings of the sea. The non-fungible is the live in the tree. We're all on the zeros, our way to be. In the world of NFTs, we're wild and free.
Okay, good morning, good morning. Fuck, where's my button? Hang on, boys. Hang on, boys. Boom. There we go. Good morning, guys. Mega GMs. Oh man. Lost deep in tab hell there for a quick second. China, what's up, man? Good to see you. CJ, good morning. It's good to see you, boys. Who snowed in? China, how much did you get? We need to get a little update on how wrecked we all are this morning. We're pretty actually, let me put a picture up here. We're pretty snowed in. Fuck, we got a lot to talk about today. DK, what's up? Good morning. We got a lot to talk about. Boom, there we go. Live on Abstract. Live on shit. PUMPFUN. I should be live there, but it doesn't look right. Sorry. I'll fix that in a minute. Live on YouTube, live on X. Dude, what a clusterfuck this morning. Holy cow. Here we go. Let's get this up. I'm excited for today. Things are looking awful. I look, I know yesterday I'm bullish. Today I'm maybe not as much. Just not as much. Funny stories out there, dude. I'm going to jump all over the place there. Funny fucking stories out there got me feeling a kind of way this morning. But the biggest thing that got me yesterday was news about, you guys probably saw this. Black Friday shopping was like massive. I need to double check the article too. I don't remember if it was like a record high, record high spending for a Black Friday, or I know it was higher than last year, but it was like it was some numbers, dude. And it wasn't a good sign. Oh man, Luna's gonna get me even more fuddy. By the way, good morning, dude. Yeah, let's pull up whatever. Let's get it up here. Actually, hang on. Let's share a picture here. Let's see. China, 5 inches. Oh, you got more coming today. Okay. We ended up with, I don't know, I think about a foot. I think so. If Luna wants to come and take us around the trenches a little bit, I'm down. Okay. I think about a foot. Does that look like a footy? It's good snow too. I had to bring the trash cans in, and I tried like our driveway's not plowed, and trying to drag it up there was fucking. That was the hardest work I've had in a minute, dude. But yeah, good snow. Still snowing. Last I looked too, and my son's I think got to drive back home for to get to school today. I don't know if he's gonna make it. I don't think the roads are great, but it's beautiful, man. It's fucking beautiful. I love it. I love the snow. It's been we had such weak winters lately, man. I need this. I miss this. Okay. Okay. PUMPFUN's good now. All right, we're good everywhere. We're good everywhere. All right, let's get started. We'll get to Dr. Profits here in a minute. Yeah, I bet, dude. How much more are you supposed to get, by the way? All right, hang on. Where to start? Hang on. Got one more. I want to pull up the Dr. Profits report. Remind me again, Luna, is his handle actually Dr. Profits? It's not. Actually, I followed him recent. I'll just check my recent follows. We'll get back to that in a minute. Thank you, Michael Saylor. All right, hang on. Let's see. A little alpha. Well, I don't want to say alpha, and I hate announcing stuff before it actually happens, but I think we might have the CEO of Ethos Network coming on Chart Monkeys soon, which would be really fucking cool. Henry's got such great connections, man. We're gonna have such great guests coming on that show. Would love to chat with this man. I think it's happening. All right, Dr. Profits, hang on. Did I pass it? I feel like I just followed him recently. Hang on. Or Luna, tell me the handle again. It might just be Dr. Profits. Fuck, dude. You know, I like X search a lot, like I said, like Grok, you know what I mean? But the follows and followers and stuff took a step back at some point here. Totally did. Dr. Profits. Oh, thank you, Luna. All right, let's see. Why can I never find it? Like, I'm not the only one who has trouble with like finding names. I'll even like know somebody's handle, right? And I'll type it in and it'll pull up like anything but that. I don't think that's just a me thing. Could be. What's up, Retake TV? I don't know if you're watching, but I need to start streaming back over there. I do like your platform. All right. Dr. Profit Crypto. There we go. Thank you, dude. Okay, we got it. Oh, I bet it's going to be nice and fuddy. Nice and fuddy. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I love. Thank you, Luna. There's like two like pockets or two levels of liquidity below us, and they're big. And everybody's expecting we're to hit these levels. I think it's like, well, I think it's the obvious thing. I think it'll break it down here, I'm sure. But wow, in the low 70s even. I didn't see that. Okay. Wow, okay. Low 70s, eh? I saw low 80s. I didn't realize that low. I don't love it. Also, it's exactly why I'm not buying anything yet at all. Still think we pump, but I'm not buying yet. I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything still until fundamentals improve, whatever that's going to mean at this point. There's so much that just looks bad, feels bad. And I still think so much of that can be turned around quickly, but we'll see. We'll see. Here, I'll drop this in the chat too for people. Let's look at prices this morning. I don't know where we're at. Oh, we're back. Wow, we're almost back to 92K. And again, I don't think this matters. I don't care how high we pump right now. I don't trust it. Yeah. Trina, I was thinking about this too, because I love all the takes. I love people who do TA, and I mean this, by the way. I like these guys who do TA and are traders. They know their shit. And they're being very smart, and they're playing a very technical game, and they're very right about it. And I was thinking about it too, because it's just like I think I said yesterday, or I say it often, I'm not a trader, right? And I'm not playing that game at all. And I was trying to like find a good way to explain it if it even matters, and it doesn't. But I think I nailed it. I think I like finally landed on what it is. What it is I'm really doing that's different. Damn. Well, he nailed that. Impressive. Here's what it is. I essentially treat the market and how I trade like a prediction market, right? What's up, English? Good morning, man. Right? I'm betting on, not necessarily price action. I'm betting on like news. I'm essentially betting on news. Do I think there's good news coming? Do I think the good news moves the market? If so, I'm in. If not, and I don't right now, I'm not touching it. Right? It's a little different. Now we actually have prediction markets, and it's probably a better place to be betting, or maybe it's not. But, dude, incredible. Incredible. So good. Anyway, Bitcoin almost back to 92. ETH over $3,000. We like it. We like it. Ripple 220, BNB 891, Solana 139. Yeah. Not bad. Again, I trust none of this. I don't know that we have anything really great ahead of us now, this week, whatever. Still with some bullish things coming. Still, I don't trust it. I believe we go longer. Lower, short, medium term, and still think that hopefully big things coming that really move this market. Honestly, deep into that all-time high territory, and it only for Bitcoin. I don't believe in anything else at this point other than Bitcoin, and I think the rest of the market has its like pockets, whatever. But Bitcoin, it's kind of it. It's kind of it. Sailor will be buying again tonight. Okay, or he already has. Whatever. Here we go though. This is what. Right, I saw this and I was talking to my wife yesterday. I'm like, dude, this doesn't make sense. Yeah, he's got great calls. Luna's been cheering him for a while, and I've not seen him miss really. So I was talking to my wife. Black Friday sales hit a record high. Again, I don't know if this is like an all-time high. I think maybe it is, but it beat last year. 11.8 bill, up 9.1% from last year, according to Adobe Analytics. Expects Americans to spend 5.5 bill on Saturday and 5.9 on Sunday. 18 bill in total Black Friday spending. Luxury apparel and accessories among the top sellers. Despite higher spending, shoppers bought fewer items. Fewer items due to rising costs. And funny enough, when I saw the numbers, and then again, I went right to my wife and I was like, "Can you believe that?" Like, I don't know where the disconnect is. I don't get it. I don't feel it. We didn't buy anything. I'm dude right now, super mindful of like our spending. I am in a way I haven't been in years, and that's how I know. Like again, I'm doing okay. But I'm like when I'm playing things very tight, right? And I'm talking about both in crypto, which I am right now, probably more than I've been in since the bear market. Tight, not spending. But IRL, when I'm like, kids, we're not doing fast food. We're gonna eat like pasta, and right, we're gonna eat cheap, and we'll like do fast food like a couple times a month, but we do it way too much. I hate that we do, but we do. But when I'm tightening the belt, it gets me really worried for people who are already tight and what it's like for them right now. So I see these numbers, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand where that money is coming from. Who's spending? Again, I didn't spend a penny this weekend on anything, and I have no plans to. And I've already told the kids this Christmas is going to be pretty different. I say, funny enough, and they call me out on this too. I tell the kids every year, I'm like, this Christmas is not going to be great. Like, I feel bad, but it's not going to be a great Christmas. Like, you'll get some stuff, but it's not going to be fucking awesome for you, you know? And then every year something happens in December where there's a play, there's money. There's somehow, some way, there's always like a play that happens, and all of a sudden Christmas is pretty cool. But I told them that again this year. That Christmas is probably gonna be probably like it's fine. You'll have presents, but nothing. Don't get your hopes up. Whatever, it'll be great. But this worries me again. Seeing that much money spent, and then this morning reading that part that matters the most: higher spending, fewer items. It's so hard to make sense of like Trump saying prices coming down. Right? It's so hard to make sense of prices are coming down and there's no inflation when we all know it's not true. And I can't get a feel for like, I really can't get a feel for this. I need curious your guys' feedback. Does Trump know when he's just talking like he does, right? Because Trump will never admit being wrong or defeat or anything. That's just part of his game, right? And I like that about his game. Does he not know, or does he know and he just speaks that way? Or am I wrong and I'm not seeing that prices actually are cheaper somewhere? That's what I'm curious about. Where does he know? You guys all planning for a buying spree next year, huh? This is what's so wild, English. I love that. Best place, the only place you should be buying, right? Max Payne, and when people say it's over, that's why it's so weird now with people saying it's over with prices where they're at. It's why I don't buy it. It's exactly why I don't buy it, why I'm not spending right now. With people like with us in like, extreme fear or fear territory and prices where they're at, I'm like, I don't buy it. And people saying it's over, I don't buy it. I think it's people LARPing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Crazy Black Swan. And there are some things coming that could be that. Could be. Play it tight, dude, right? No extra spending, no spending on anything. Max preservation. English, what are you doing now, by the way? What's your current like gig? I know you're still with Wizards. Like do you got a gig right now? Nah, funny, Choina. There's the only good advice I've seen on the timeline here in the past couple months is really great crypto, like really great traders who are saying the best FA I can give you, if you don't have like if your portfolio isn't like X size or whatever, best advice I can give you is get a job. That's it. Or start a business, right? Which is a job. Best advice out there. Choina, it's not it's not foolish, it's smart. It's so smart. You got to, right? I'm full-time crypto, but I work in crypto. You know what I mean? I have a regular ass job here and I love it, but definitely not full-time trading. I don't trade. Oh, cool shit, English, dude. That's so cool. All right, I hope that works. I hope that comes to be, man. Or that. There's the thing. If you are locked in and it is that 24/7 grind, you Luna, do you think people can still do that? Do you think somebody new could come in and enter crypto and become full-time trader and that's their thing? I guess if your bags are big enough to start, yes, but can somebody really grow? If you're coming to this space with, let's say, like 2,000, 3,000 bucks, can you do it? 100%. All right. I like it. Again, you can tell we got all the different people that watch the stream, right? But you can tell who the traders are. There's guys here that are traders. Luna's that. I think even one of our few traders that watch. I love it. Yes, have to be a professional airdrop farmer. Okay. I like the other version of that better, Choina. 27/7's great. Yeah, okay. All right. There's hope then. And man, we we you know, we talk about this a lot. As dead as it is now, it's not dead, dude. There's opportunities everywhere. This is the like most exciting dead period I think we've ever seen. And I mean it too. And just to say it again, prior cycles, we have weeks, literally like 2, 3 weeks of really hot action and then nothing. And I mean nothing. Or you sometimes, when it gets super hot, you get a couple months of like just this concentrated frenzy and wins everywhere in easy mode. And then you get months, and this is like 3 months, 6 months of nothing. And we're in that period now, yet there's tokens everywhere, there's plays everywhere, there's chains launching, there's ICOs, there's NFT, there's stuff everywhere in what is typically that very slow period. Remember, the second half of the year was typically dead, and this was like an every year thing, just dead. And now it's not. It's very, very, very different in that regard. Still has me excited for how cool things can get. What's up, BTC? Good to see you, man. Choina. Yeah, it's a weird thing that happens. The chats show up like a day or two later. They like have to render or something. So like, yeah, right after the show, right when the stream ends, you don't see the chats, but like 2 days later you will. Which is stupid, right? Like, so like this one yesterday, let me see. This one we probably won't see it yet. All right. Oh, actually, okay, now yesterday it's on. Yeah, it's there, but like right after just doesn't show up. But yeah, eventually it does. It is dumb. Um, CJ, why does it work? Yeah. So again, on the surface, like again, just seeing the numbers, I'm like, wow, okay, maybe things are not as bad as I thought. But then when I see that part again, people spending more for fewer items, and then I just keep thinking back, I'm not spending. I know people who have less than me are not spending, but if they are, they're running up credit, right? They're running up their credit cards. I think we all probably assume that too, right? I think people are in what do I have to lose mode? And it's a guess. Actually, we'll probably get that data next, right? That's probably the data we'll get next is how many people did buy now, pay later kind of stuff, right? And how many people are just straight up like buying on their credit cards. It's the only thing that can make sense to me. And I so hope I'm wrong. I so hope I'm wrong and that I am just so detached that I don't see it, right? But I so hope I'm wrong that prices are actually cheaper and people are doing way better than I thought. But I don't feel it. That said, I think my brother told me like his flooring shop's been crazy busy. So again, maybe I'm just not feeling what's really going on out there. Maybe it's like, yeah, maybe I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it as bad as we thought it was a couple months back, or is it like way better? Because something here just doesn't add up to me. What are people saying here? Yeah, again, obviously price is higher. Yeah, CJ, I just get worried that I don't know, not that we're at a point of no return on that front, but that people are feeling so hopeless that they just don't care and are just going to spend whatever on credit. Because like, what does it matter if you're $5,000 in debt? Why not be $6,000 or $7,000 in debt? Or if you're $15,000 in debt, why not be 20,000? Like, right? It's so broken, anyways. Like, I think people are basically the point of who gives a fuck anymore. Feels like that. Also, I don't know. I don't know. But it also ties into this. Check this out. There was a great post here. Couple of interesting things, by the way, but hang on. Here. It's just like things are so weird. Things are so weird and different. And it's just how things are now. But Carbon put out this post. One of the biggest success stories of the past decade is DoorDash. Hang on. CJ, price is obviously not going down. Having deflation in the US would be crazy. I'm not quite sure what Trump meant when he said that. Perhaps just referring to a couple specific items. Yeah. And again, I think Trump, it's just how he talks. I think that's just like, that's Trump's method. I think he knows. I think he knows prices aren't down, but like Trump will never say he's wrong. Never, never, never. It's just that's his game. And it works for him. But yeah, check it out. I just think this is fucking fascinating because we talk like Thread Guy talks all the time about DoorDash, right? Not all the time. I don't know. Thread Guy talks about DoorDash and says how it's fucking crazy. Like his generation and everybody his age, DoorDash is everything. And he's like, I don't know where people are getting the money for this. He's like, I don't get where the money comes from. It's so expensive. And and if he goes and picks up his food, he says there's nobody eating in restaurants. And it's just everything's different now. It is. But this really speaks to how different things are and how our brains are wired so differently. We don't care about quality anymore. We care about convenience, the end. That's kind of it. If you think about DoorDash, it's amazing. It also is crazy, right? We have tech that makes consumers pay $120 for a $75 meal that arrives in 53 minutes lukewarm. If that doesn't sum up everything now, but especially how much we don't care about money and how wasteful we are. In fact, how about this? This ties into also, right? We see these reports that cost of living keeps going up and up and up. And, you know, the average household needs to make $150,000 for quality of life. You've seen these reports, right? But nobody's really talking about that we live so differently than we did probably 20 years ago as far as what we spend, how much we spend, and what we're spending it on. Like, we're very wasteful with our money. Not speaking for everybody, of course, but I think maybe I am. We're very wasteful with our money. We spend on anything and everything, and there's almost no limit. The limit's when you're at zero, basically. But DoorDash is a great example. Again, paying, I don't know, 30% more for the same thing that takes forever to get there. And, it's crazy how much stuff you can get same day, next day. But it arrives kind of, like you say, lukewarm. It's crazy. I love that term. Holy cow. The enshittification of everything. Hard to believe there was a time when standard was free delivery, hot food delivered in under 30 minutes. That was it. Just different now, man. It's just different. But again, that sums up everything to me these days. We don't care. We're just so quick to part with our money, and we'll overpay on it just for that instant gratification. Quality doesn't matter. It's fucking crazy. So we spend and spend and spend. And so now we say cost of living has gone up. When in reality, if we're just living with our like essentials, and yes, rent and all of that's gone up too, food, everything's gone up, but we spend more than we ever have. I believe that. I'm sure there's data that shows that. BTC, my wife and daughter went out looking for good deals on Black Friday. They said it was the least amount of people they'd ever seen. Wow, didn't buy anything. So I saw, like, Tyler tweeted, and he's a local Chicago guy, said he went out to a couple spots that are normally packed on Black Friday, said they were dead. Absolutely dead. I think one was a hotel, and he's like, rooms open. There was no, like, normally you can't get a room. He's like, tons of rooms. I think the other thing was like a restaurant or something like that, said dead. And the flip side of that was Captain from Coffee with Captain or whatever it's called, saying in Tampa, went to the mall, was like the busiest he's ever seen it. So it's probably very regional, but I think whatever's happening out there, it's, for me, it's not adding up. I think people are tapped out. I think those stimmies will help, by the way, next year. I think they will. Hey, if we happen to get to this no tax thing next year, probably helps a lot. Do people gamble it all away? I'm still less sure about that, but CJ, he might have meant that inflation rates have come down, which is also true. Yeah, Dead, good morning. Dude, I was thinking about you this morning and remembered that I didn't do the other side stream on Friday. I meant to do the Friday stream. Oh, I know why now. I meant to do the Friday stream in the other side metaverse, right in a bubble. And it's because I wasn't planning to have James on. And that was kind of a last minute thing, and it was cool. But that's why I totally forgot that I was going to do the other side stream. So we'll have to get that in this week. I really want to do that. Yeah, so we'll see, man. I'm looking forward to more data about this. Surface level sounded great, but thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know if it is that great. I don't know if it is. I'm going to bookmark this and chew on that a little later. Wow, dude, two Bitcoin. Jesus Christ. Fuck, we could have a whole show about our NFTs we didn't take those offers on. Dude, fuck. How far we've fallen. Those flog boxes are looking spicy. These things are cooking right now. Ultimate box is up to, dude, almost $1,300. These mint this week, they're going to be pretty decent. Again, I don't have confidence in this market, so I'm not sure. I like the 0.5 ETH prediction, but I feel like that's on the high end. I think I'm going like 0.3-ish, maybe 0.35, which is awesome. Means these are still a deal. We'll see. We shall see. But I don't know if you guys saw Binance FUD, and the Binance FUD is not new. This is a last week thing. The Tether FUD is kind of newer. Starting with Binance. I imagine this is a big old nothing burger, by the way. And also, I don't know if this is Binance or CZ. I think it's Binance. I don't think CZ was part of Binance at this point, but Binance being sued for allegedly funding October 7th. So again, not a new story. This is like last week. Hamas moved at least $240 million through Binance before October 7th, 1.3 mil after. Which I feel like this is kind of in the ballpark of what CZ got for before. You know, like money laundering kind of stuff on their platform. I mean, to some degree, what can you do? And also, I think that's kind of what the government wants them to tackle. They want them to do something about that. It is a problem. But October 7th, victim families are suing them for over $1 billion. The wording of it's crazy, though. Secret funding for Hamas. They make it sound like Binance is funding them instead of what it really is, just anybody and everybody with crypto that can move their crypto through a DEX or a centralized exchange. That's it. I think a big old nothing burger. That said, there does seem to be this whatever coordinated attack going on right now in crypto. So the Binance FUD, the strategy FUD, and now Tether FUD. And I don't think it's all a coincidence. And I lean towards this being a big old nothing burger. Just feels that way. Also suing where? I'm trying to think if that's in Israel. Saying they knowingly facilitated those transactions. And maybe it is CZ directly, right? Financial Times reporting that Binance founder accused of facilitating payments to Hamas. The case is in the U.S. It's filed by Israelis here in the United States against Binance. So we shall see there. Now, the Tether news, I'm glad CJ's here. Also interesting, also whatever. The Tether, here's from Arthur Hayes, by the way. The Tether folks are in the early innings of running a massive interest rate trade. What is this, by the way? Showing their assets. Yeah, breakdown of their assets they hold. How Arthur Hayes reads the audit. They think the Fed will cut rates, which we're hoping for. I think at this point we're expecting. Last I saw on Polymarket, 87% chance of rate cuts, 25 basis points coming in just a couple of weeks here. Tether's betting on that, which crushes their interest income. In response, they're buying gold and Bitcoin that in theory moons as the price of money falls, which we were waiting for. The dollar actually strengthened over the past couple of months. This helps us. A roughly 30% decline in gold plus Bitcoin position would wipe out their equity, and then USDT would be, in theory, insolvent. This could get spicy. Also, isn't Tether launching a new stablecoin here in the States? Because their stablecoin is not compliant with the what was the bill that passed this summer? The Genius Act. I think that's it. Yeah. So this coin is not going to be a U.S. This is not going to be a stable coin that's even compliant here in the U.S. So I don't know how this plays out. Other than I'm pretty sure that we've seen these reports that there's another Tether stablecoin coming, a U.S. stablecoin. Hell, it might already have been minted. Continuing here, I'm sure some large holders and exchanges will demand a real-time view of their BS. What is BS? Hang on, help me. I'm being retarded. BS. So they can assess the solvency risk of Tether. Get out your popcorn. I expect the mainstream media to run wild with this, especially all the editors with Trump derangement syndrome who want to shit on Lutnick and Cantor for backing Tether. I'm with them that this probably gets spicy. And then ultimately how it plays out, well, the rate cuts probably are coming. I think it seems clear that Tether does not have the proper reserves. We shall see. Again, doesn't it feel like there's a, well, we'll see, but it feels like there is a coordinated thing happening. There we go. This is better. Tether has 174 bill in liabilities and 139 bill in cash to cover it. Ticking time bomb. This would be a black swan event. Could be. When I say would, I have no idea. Could be. Could Tether be this looming black swan event? Could be. Although I like this. Tether FUD's the bottom. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But yeah, I expect more from on the Tether front. I expect more FUD on that front. I expect to see that in the mainstream media. I do. Hunter Horsley saying it's better than fractional banking reserves. True as well. It's funny, isn't it? How like quick, I'll still say the mainstream media is, and we'll say politicians too, how quick they are to shit on the crypto financial systems when the banking system is probably worse by every metric in like every way. Weird thing. Weird thing. Oh, dude, that's, you know what? Just to jump on what you guys are chatting about, the fake offers on Magic Eden, especially. I imagine that happened on Magic Eden. The fake offers suck, dude. You can sit there and you can watch your NFT. You can see a bid in, let's say I had a GVC and have a 3 ETH bid, and you can literally watch it and it changes 3 ETH, 0.7, bounces up to 2. It just like just keeps rotating up and down. Like and it's not that it's broken, it's that people throw in these fake scammy offers. It's crazy. Magic Eden especially is bad with that. I don't see the same thing on OpenSea. I don't think I do. Maybe I'm just not watching enough, but I don't feel like I see that on OpenSea the same way. Coin Bureau is reporting that buying pressure's back. Coinbase Bitcoin Premium Index flipped positive after a month in the red. By the way, November's closing as our second worst performing November ever for Bitcoin. Just to, just to feel out where we're at, not great. Second worst ever. But if this index is on the uptrend, good. I don't trust it, but good. Good. By the way, I think we're in a good spot when all these like the ancient Bitcoin whales are through their bags, done selling. I have no idea how close we are, but one of the many things that's kind of wrecked us this cycle here. Also, this is not strategy FUD, I guess, but I believe this is the first time Sailor or Strategy has made comments about selling their Bitcoin. But they did. Strategy saying they will sell their Bitcoin if stock falls below MNAV, and which it's already below. But if fresh capital dries up too. So they're kind of halfway there. A lot of funny shit out there, man. A lot of funny shit. There we go. That's exactly what I'm waiting for right there. I imagine those reports are coming. Yeah, I wonder when this comment was. This had to have been recent, yesterday, like this weekend kind of thing. But again, will sell their Bitcoin last resort, though. I think we're okay there. I do. Old story, but for some reason is picked up, is making the rounds again. I think at some point, Dad, they got to be realistic, right? But I don't think they're selling anytime soon. But yeah, it is funny. Again, old story picked back up. Seen it on the timeline. There is a UBI program going on in New York. Some New Yorkers getting $12,000 in crypto for a UBI experiment sponsored by Coinbase. Pretty cool. Oh, I mean, maybe it's cool. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But you know what I think is that this kind of becomes normal. We get the stimmy next year, right? We've talked about this. It's 3 of the past 6 years we've got a stimmy. It's basically here. UBI is basically here. I guess we've always had it in some form. Just not called UBI, right? Here you go. Here, this is called UBI, though. All right, dude, let's check on. We'll just keep doing what we do. We'll bounce between topics here. But I'm starting to see a lot, dude, a lot of monad FUD. A lot, dude. I gotta see how monad's looking this morning. See if we're back to break even here. Oh, we're getting close to it. Monad's down to 2.9 mil. Pre-sale pre-sale was what? Bill, 2.9 bill. Pre-sale was at 2.5 bill. You're still up if you got in on that pre-sale. But not much. And again, a lot of FUD about this. Yeah, I imagine Monad's going to be a ghost chain next year. I still don't feel the same about Mega ETH. I don't. Based on not much, by the way, too. But Mega ETH just feels too cabal-y and still good cabal. Actually, there's something about Mega ETH I like. Monad, funny enough with Monad, I remember first hearing a Monad, a couple of years back and hearing people really bullish on it, at least farming it. And then nothing but FUD and no talk about it. And the Monad thing only picked back up on the timeline kind of around the token claim, right? When people realized they got a stimmy. And then, of course, the Coinbase sale and all that. But, I heard nothing good about Monad. In fact, hang on. For a while, Thread Guy was a Monad, ambassador, right? He used to have that in his bio. I can't imagine he's got it there now. But let's see. He still is Monad there. Okay, so he still is he's a Monad ambassador? I don't see him ever talking about Monad. Do you? I don't see him ever talking Monad. Let me just scroll real quick. Let me see if I could just totally miss it. But I don't think I ever see him talking Monad. I see him talking Polymarket now. I see him talking Phantom, right? The other two things in his bio. Yeah, Phantom, Polymarket. I see him talk about those all the time. I don't see him ever talk Monad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there is anything. It's not on his weird. Like his other sponsors he's got right on the screen, he doesn't have Monad anywhere. And that was actually the only reason I was bullish on Monad at any point. And I'll be honest, I was never bullish, but the only reason I thought it might have some motion is because of Thread Guy. I just assume Thread Guy would be talking Monad a lot, right? And would help drive least some degens over there, but again, I don't see any mentions of it. So weird. Yeah, I don't feel anything about that chain, nothing. And I think that's the same with a lot of people and reflected in price. Kook was talking shit about Monad this morning too, which he does. Which he does. He's not a Monad fan. I don't see anything there. I just don't. Ooh, I wonder. Look, at this point, the C token's not terribly far off. I wonder what. Yeah, I wonder what our C valuations are going to start looking like here coming up soon. Like, right, C is going to be one of those hot topics on the timeline coming soon. Like soon, within probably a couple of weeks, we're going to see C talk ramping up. Polymarket, hang on, let's peek. Polymarket's got some markets on these TGEs. Fuck, I don't even know what this is. Vui? I don't know what that is. I don't know what Sentient is. I should know these things, probably. I don't know what they are. You got the mass token coming too. We got some nice tokens coming at least. But let's see. Let's see what people think. Hang on, how's that worded? Fuck, I think I just lost that tweet. Here, let's just search OpenSea. Yeah, maybe. Fuck, I thought he had a single market with all of them. Maybe not though. Where was that, man? There it is. Okay. Oh, okay. They're individual markets. Okay. OpenSea, yeah. Okay, we're on the right one. Man, Thread Guy's he's great. He's a really smart fucking dude. But I feel like if he's got it in his bio, he's still getting paid, right? Do you think he probably like fulfilled his obligation, but he's still like under contract? Something like that. It's got to be something like that, right? Part of the deal is it stays in his bio. Host X number of spaces, mention what, right? X number of threads, something like that. But he's probably doing exactly what the terms are and he's not bullish on it. OpenSea. FDV above what? Well, 500 mil feels like the easy play. 91% chance there. Over a bill, not bad. I don't think it's juicy odds there, but 76%. 3 bill. Huh. The no there is interesting. Under 3 bill at 80 cents. So 80 cents for a buck, basically, right? Like that. 5 bill. Not a chance. It's not a chance. 3 bill might be the play there. Yeah, I think that 3 bill, the no on 3 bill is looks like the best play you can make here. Other than over 1 bill, if you have any confidence about that, at 77 cents, but I wouldn't take that either. Yeah. Yeah, I think 3 bill, under 3 bill at 80 is the bet here. What were the other ones? Cent. Let's do Mega ETH. All right, let's see with Mega ETH. Over 2 bill, I think that's a lock. I don't know what their tokenomics are though, so hard to say for sure, but 2 bill feels like a lock. 3 bill 56% chance over 3. I think that's one day. Okay, one day after launch, over 3 bill. Depends on when that's happening, but I don't think that's a bad shout. I don't think it's great. I'm not touching, by the way, but over 4. Actually, that's interesting too. I think for me, if I were just gambling, I think for me it would be that one. Over 4 bill at 27 cents. I think that would be the bet. Although can't go wrong here either too. Over 2 bill 85 cents. Free money basically. Over 3 at 56. Yeah, I don't hate any of those to be honest. Yeah, maybe the nice middle ground is the over 3 at 57. Feel like we'll see it over 3. All right. Oh, you know what's funny? Hang on, let me throw this up here. The Michael Saylor tweet about adding green dots. I didn't even think of anything. When I saw that, I'm like, does he just change the color and that's it? Just a new color. Yeah, yeah, English. Yep. Yep. Okay, same page there. Uh what if the green dot is a different kind of buy? Didn't think of that. I just again thought maybe changing the color, but if orange dot means Bitcoin, green dot means what? Well, it's still on the Bitcoin chart. I don't I can't it's not selling. Is it buying a certain amount, which they've bought over a bill, on specific dates too, or over a week. So it can't. The bill wouldn't be the threshold. What would a green dot be other than just a color change? Huh? ETFs. That would be interesting. But no, Sailor's not going to be buying ETH. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's just changing the color, but multiple tweets mentioning what if it means a different kind of buy. Everybody just copies each other's tweets, but yeah, interesting. Hadn't thought of it. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder. We'll keep an eye out. More Tether FUD or still people catching this story. Not 1-1 back with USD. Nope. But wasn't this supposed to be the flywheel? Right? To be compliant, you have to buy treasuries. Wasn't this supposed to be the big flywheel? That we'd have so much buy pressure on US treasuries because you need them to back your stable coin. Now, I don't know if they have, what was it, like 40, 50 bill to buy treasuries. I think that was like the gap there. No, maybe it was more than that. But anyway, that could be our black swan. I don't fuck. I was gonna say I don't know if that's a big enough black swan. That's a pretty big black swan though. But yeah, again, this is not new. This is not new. We knew Tether was not US compliant. Oh, okay, hang on. Farmer Joe saying it is compliant. People just are not reading this properly. Maybe that has to do with what I was saying, that they have a US stablecoin. This is not going to be their US stablecoin. Something like that. I don't know. We'll let other people dive in and break that down, but more coming on that front, I assume. I love this, by the way. Kabuto King loading up on what? Pokemon cards? A Kabuto card? Dude's got a monopoly on the Kabuto market. I love that. I wonder if that works. I don't know anything about this card, right? I don't know if that's like a series 1 or something Pokemon card, and I don't know how many there are, but I love that. By the way, this tweet's full of guys who've done the same with like other cards. Incredible. Good shit. Oh, speaking of cards too, VFriends had some new Topps cards come out. I've always wondered how well those have done. You know, both like primary sale and then if there's any kind of secondary market. But like, right, VFriends has physical cards. They're Topps cards. Apparently, they just had a big sale, and they fucked up the sale. They had listed them for $1. I think $1 a box. Yeah, here we go. Crazy. Topps Chrome hobby boxes, they sold them for $1. Then emailed customers asking if they'd return them. Is it $1 a box or $1 a pack? It's probably it looks like $1 a pack. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Either way, fucking hilarious. So yeah, emailed people. There it is. Wanted to reach out regarding your recent. I wonder where they blanked that out. Topps Chrome hobby box order. Humbly ask on behalf of the founder and creator Gary Vaynerchuk and VFriends if you'd be open to a buyback return program for your order. Who would do that? I would be tempted to do it. Good morning, cutie. I would be tempted to do it. That's just me. But it's probably not smart. I don't know. I don't know. Some people will do it, I'm sure. I think Gary's got to just eat that one. Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask, but I think Gary's just got to eat that one. I think so. All right, let me kill some tabs here. Let me refresh to see. I'm expecting to see these up to like 15 plus. I think we'll see the FWOG Ultimate at 1600. So many more listed now. We saw yesterday it was like 10 sales to a $2,000 floor. Now we're like 16 sales to 1600. Dude, there's not a lot of these though, man. Okay, we're 16 sales to 2000. 18 or so to 2500. Yeah, these might rip right ahead of that mint again in like 3 days. So yeah. Abstractio, good morning, man. What was the FUD? The FUD was the Binance FUD is lawsuit accusing them of funding Hamas ahead of 10/7, which funding or allowing funding to happen through their exchange. You know what I mean? But yeah, lawsuit there. Tether, I don't know if you just caught Tether because we just touched on it again, but Tether apparently doesn't hold enough reserves to be compliant. But people might be misunderstanding this, or it's the other thing, which is Tether was never going to be compliant, and they're launching a new stable coin here in the States that is compliant. That's what I think is going to happen. That news, when they officially like launch a U.S. stable coin, might be fuddy, might not be great for the market. Let me see. U.S. Let's see if they, because I'm pretty sure they've announced this already. Right there, yeah. See, here's back from July. Tether plans to bring USDT to the U.S. under the Genius Act and launch a new U.S.-based stablecoin. I don't think it matters what Tether looks like right now. It's a total different stablecoin that you'll use. There'll probably be some kind of like swap your USDT for your USDT US. You know, like whatever the fuck they call it. There's probably just going to be a straight up swap for it, or they remint it, or what, you know, whatever. But yeah. Again, back in July, Tether confirms a new U.S. domestic stablecoin is on the way. So any concerns here? Yeah, I guess I'm probably not that worried about it. AI agent that auto kills browser tabs. Wait, who? Who? Oh, me. um, no, I don't think I saw it. I know Murad had a new video. Probably that's it, right? Actually, I if I can find it, I'm gonna play it because Murad's a lunatic and I love him. And I'd be curious his take on why. I don't think I would buy it totally, but maybe. Yeah, let's see if we can find it. I mean, I like his takes. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, I still agree with a lot of his take. And also just never forget man's still posting about his bags. Like, Cutie, is this on his oh yeah, here we go. Fuck it. Let's play a little of this. It's 50 minutes. We're not gonna play the whole thing. This is his new. I remember what put him on the map really for most people. It was that speech at like Token 2049 like a year or two ago, talking about meme coins. This is like his new thing. Oh shit, hang on. Would you rather eat poop or full port SPX? Would I rather? Depends how much money we're talking, and it depends on the time frame. You know what I mean? Like, it depends. I don't hate SPX right here at this level if you have belief that the market's going to get hotter in 2026. I'm probably leaning that way. But Luna, if it's about like, and you need to sell by a certain date, I might be eating that poop, dude. And for what it's worth, I think the SPX meme is hilarious. I fucking love it. Oh, you guys don't have audio, I bet. Let's fix that.
Why I believe the crypto bull market will continue into 2026. Everything in this video and on this channel is not financial advice and is purely a longer than expected US government shutdown. There has been some macro uncertainty and some Fed policy uncertainty in the past several weeks. We've seen some funding stresses in the repo market, which is related to the US government shutdown. We've seen a modest stock market dip, which obviously also had a negative implications for BTC. We've seen some selling from some of the smaller digital asset treasuries. We've seen some selling from BTC OGs. There have also been some rumors of some contagion-related selling after October 10th event. And
all right, hang on. All stuff. I'm trying to think who his audience is, right? It's probably got to be the like TikTok like crypto people. Like, this is all, I don't know, whatever. It's all stuff that we're very well aware of. All of crypto Twitter is, but who probably the TikTok crypto people are not.
to a lesser extent, there have been some rumors of some BTC whales, quote unquote, protest selling after the latest BTC core update. So essentially, a lot of things have come together to induce this uncharacteristically rapid dump from 125K to 80K that we've seen in BTC over the past 6 weeks. So I'm going to give 116 reasons and charts, which
I love it. 116 reasons. We're not going to make it for all of them. Damn, I wish there was like an edit of this that broke them all down. You know what? I'm kind of interested in this part.
6% drop that we've seen in BTC is nothing that we haven't already seen. If you actually take a look at all of the drawdowns from this cycle, this current dip is the fastest, sharpest, and the biggest, but we've already seen a negative 32% drop in early 2025, and we've seen a 33% drop in the middle of 2024 as well. These drawdowns are roughly in the ballpark of the current negative 36% drawdown that we're seeing right now. So it's nothing crazy relative to the rest of the cycle so far. On the technical analysis side, right, the 3D candle closed as a bullish hammer. This is usually a reversal pattern. We need to wait and see whether we build a base here in the coming 2-3 weeks. But this particular 3D candlestick pattern is bullish.
Bullish hammer. I'm going to keep. Oh, we're just going to kind of skim through. All right, let's see. I'm just waiting for something to catch my eye. All right, hang on. If anything, hey, as I'm scrolling, if any of those points stand out, tell me and we'll stop and play it. Oh, you know what? Maybe I play this at like 5x. Can I even do that? How fast can you do it? Oh, 2x is the most. Dude, 116 of these points.
When we were projected these kinds of traders and short-term holders. You can see this on some of the metrics provided by the Crypto Quant Analytics platform. The short to long-term holder in profit percentage is the lowest in 5 years. It hasn't been this low, dating all the way back to 2019. And again, if you, courtesy of a gentleman named Subutrade on Twitter, if you forward project these kinds of situations, you will see that there's a positive result the vast majority of the time if you project this several weeks or several months into the future. The short-term holder supply is at the lowest level ever. And that actually was already the case when we were at 91,000 several days ago. We ultimately went even lower than this towards 80.5. So the short-term holder realized profit to loss ratio is also the lowest in 5 years. What this is essentially telling us is that the market is undergoing complete capitulation, especially from the short-term holder and trader perspective. So these kinds of dips have usually caught local bottoms, cyclical bottoms, the last couple of times throughout this cycle. And this one is particularly sharp, even sharper than the ones we've seen in 2024 and 2025. The short-term holder SOP.
All right, yeah, let's run it back. You want to hear the first 5? I think we did 1. Let's jump to 2. We did the hammer 2. Okay. There we go.
BTC is still technically printing a higher low, right? Assuming that this 80.5K low was a local low, we're still in a pattern of continuous higher lows. BTC has also just tested a 2-week demand zone. So we're essentially at support. And again, as of right now, it's still technically a higher low. On the monthly time frame, we are in a long-term ascending parallel channel, right? This channel has started in 2023. This sort of diagonal support, we're still at the diagonal support. Essentially, this is a bullish structure. This has been a much sort of a slow and steady bull cycle, but this structure is still unbroken and still intact. Similarly, there is an ascending parallel channel that's on even longer time frames on a logarithmic scale. And so this diagonal support dating all the way back to 2013, it's still technically intact, and we have just tested the lower side of it. So we are technically on logarithmic diagonal support at the moment. So there's also a diagonal that has been resistance in early 2021, in late 2021. It was also resistance in early 2024. We finally broke through it in late 2024. We tested it as support in early 2025. And right now we just tested it as support again, right? So potentially it's just another diagonal resistance turning support flip. So the weekly RSI has not been this low since the FTX collapse, right? And the only previous times when weekly RSI was this low was the 2018 bear market bottom, the COVID bottom, and the 3AC slash Luna drop in the middle of 2022, right? We're currently roughly at COVID levels, or at least the RSI, weekly RSI was at around there when BTC was in the low 81, 82,000 a couple of days ago. But this is essentially the lowest RSI reading on the weekly since 2023. And if you essentially match these weekly RSI levels to the chart, you will see that this usually coincides either with global bottoms towards the end of bear markets or really sharp drops such as the COVID drop. In a similar vein, the daily RSI.
Well, oh, is Pio bullish? I don't know why I'm surprised about that. I want to peek at Pio's timeline. I don't pay attention to him. I like Pio, but I wouldn't have thought of him as bullish. What's his handle? It's not Pio, but what the fuck is his name? There it is. Yeah, I didn't know. I like that Pio's starting to get jacked a little bit. Little bit. He's getting there. Oh, he's giga bullish, huh? What's the most bullish thing you've seen, English, from Pio? Retweeting 50 mil Bitcoin is up there. I'm going to find like one or two good tweets, though. I want to get like just his like overall take, you know? May not find it. Yeah, I doubt we'll find it. Okay, well, there's a take. Likes, let's just say he likes Bitcoin over 100K early December. And I still think that in December we see 100 plus Bitcoin. I need to go back and really scroll the timeline, just really get a feel for where he's at. English, where's Easy's head at? I like Easy. He's great. All right, let's go back to Murad. I just want to hear a couple more points, and I'll scroll at this point. We'll jump a little later. I want some like crazy out there takes.
case, right? Because that OI has been flushed as well. From a DAT perspective, now this can be analyzed from both a bullish or bearish perspective, but in my personal opinion, we're seeing that the digital asset treasury MNAVs, they've been reset to under 1 or just over 1. I think this is bullish because essentially the froth on the DAT side, a lot of people were, calling it a bubble. A lot of people were calling it overextended, but that bubble has essentially already been popped, right? All these.
I want something like fucking out there.
5% of its all-time high. And again, if you compare past historical situations when this has happened, 80% of the time 6 months later and 93% of the time 1 year later, prices were higher. The S&P 500 forward returns where the SPX SRI is below 30.
You know what I might do, Confusion? I might actually do this. I might, just because why not? I think I might just pop up a Spaces. I would kill the stream and fire off a Spaces. Yeah, tell you what, dude. Give me like 5 minutes. We'll end the stream a little early, and let's get like a good chat going.
To the 1920.
Let me ping Henry, see if he would join too. I bet he would. English, you're talking Murad. Here's what I think with Murad, though. I don't think he believes that. I don't think he does. I think this is Murad doing. I think this is Murad playing a character. Maybe he does, by the way. Maybe he believes it. But I think he's playing a character, and he's playing the guy who has to protect the SPX community. Because I think he's a smart dude. Do you think he really thinks that? I can't imagine he really thinks it. I think he's got to say it. It's the Murad character, the leader of SPX. He's now known as the most bullish guy in crypto Twitter. Right? Like, is there anybody buller than Murad? I think he is like the most bullish guy we have anywhere. I think it's shtick. I do. I really think it's a shtick. Even just because of that part alone, to think there's no chance that we get under 75, like that's crazy. I like that. Easy's like, he's great. He's becoming like one of my favorites. He's great. Yeah, I don't think Murad believes a lot of this stuff. I think this is how he keeps in the limelight and how he keeps his holders still holding. Because if SPX doesn't make it, he loses like all credibility, right? He has to keep them holding. It's his like sole purpose in life is keep people holding SPX. But I don't think he believes half of what he's saying.
Pivot flush. Essentially, BTC price first went down. If you ignore, the COVID collapse, I believe that it would be likely that, price would bottom at around 6,000. That's also the level where, BTC has found support after COVID as well. And so once the QT stop was announced, we first see a flush and then sort of a bullish price wave begins to happen once sort of QE starts going. Similarly, perhaps one theory is that, this announcement of QT being stopped similarly resulted in BTC first seeing this QT-QE pivot flush. Then we need to, chop around a little bit. And once some form of QE begins again, then BTC is going to start doing well again. And playing out in a very similar story, potentially, right? So at the more sort of political / administrative level, right? US administration is doing everything it can to promote BTC, crypto, ETF, stablecoins.
Yeah, I don't know. None of this matters if the economy takes a shit next year. And that's kind of all that matters. And it kind of feels like it's going to next year. But I also think Trump will do everything he can to crime us out of that. I in a way, I'm almost expecting next year to be a lot like this year, just constant fuckery. I don't know. Hey, let's do a spaces. Let's do a spaces. Let's shoot the shit over there. May not be long, but let's do that over there. Get some of you guys chatting too. I'm gonna kill the stream. I will fire up a spaces on my account here in the next, let's say, 5-ish minutes. So come join if you want. I think. Let me see. I'm seeing if Henry will join, but you guys, of course, feel free. Come up, chat. Yeah, it should be fucking fun. All right, I'll see you guys shortly. I hope. Short stream today. We'll see you later. Goodbye.